One Night Only is a frustratingly weird movie. I don't even know how to describe this properly. But essentially, I can boil this film down to one term: performative activism. So, One Night Only is following the idea of a sex purge movie. So, 3 years prior, a premarital sex ban has been put into place by the United States government. This means that if you are not married, you cannot have sex any other time of the year except one night only, hence the title. And immediately, that should be kind of obvious where this movie is going to go. When you have a child and you tell them that they cannot have any cookies in the cookie jar, and everyone loves cookies, you go in and you see that child opens the cookie jar and eat all the cookies. When you ban something that someone so desperately wants, it often manifests itself into them wanting it more. And that's exactly what this movie shows. On one hand, there is a lot of conservative talk throughout the movie saying that, oh, this one night only ban has helped so many people. It's lowered teen pregnancies, it's lowered STDs, it's lowered blah, blah, blah. And that sort of jargon to sort of justify this ban is present in the movie. But at the same time, the characters are shown to be absolutely wild for sex, with having multiple partners on that one night only, for having people who break the ban by this one guy sleeping with 14 people within 8 days, or 14 times within the last 8 days. People take advantage of this aspect by robbing people who are so desperate to just get laid on that one night, or robbing people blind by raising the price of a single condom to $200. Like, everything that the conservative talking points that said that this ban was good for, the movie shows exactly the opposite effect. So, if this idea was to ban premarital sex and to just have more safety, it turns out the opposite, where people are more focused on sex more than ever because you are depriving them of this. And even the cops in the movie say that they have to go out of their way to make sure people are keeping to this mandate, something that they don't even want to do. But the conservative talking point is to say, hey, this is really good. And the movie is showing it's not that good. And that is where the sort of dichotomy exists. Don't get me started on the way that they track that if people had sex is a biological implant, which, if you've seen my Spider-Man Brand New Day video, this idea of technological oversight and just surveillance is kind of crazy. And that is not a huger point in the movie. Everyone's just fine with getting injected with something that tells if they can have sex. It's wild. They don't even talk about that. But instead, the movie shows such a weird outcome. Like, the idea of performative activism is the idea that you mainly just say things. You say, this sex ban is terrible. And that's what everyone does in the movie. They're like, this is terrible. Like, screw it. This is terrible. We should never have done this. Love is love, everything else like that. And then by the end of the movie, no one does anything to change it. No one does any actionable steps to change it. In fact, it's been 3 years since this ban was in place, and then it jumps to 1 year later. Life is still the same. The ban is still there. No one is shown to be going out of the way to get married in order to have sex. And so this whole idea is just so bizarre because this performative activism that the movie showcases is present throughout all the characters, even with the main two, who are against this mandate. But at the end of the movie, they are like, you know, maybe we should wait to have sex and get to know each other a little bit more, which is kind of what they want the mandate to do. But also at the end of the movie, they're like, we've gone through so much crazy stuff. I want to get to know you better. We can't let this mandate win. What the fuck? What are you talking about, that you can't let this mandate win by not sleeping together? We can't let the mandate decide that we have to sleep tonight. So we're going to let it decide that we can only sleep next year. It's such a bizarre movie that doesn't have a take associated with it. It wants to tell you that it's bad, but it wants to also tell you that it's good. It wants you to understand that this government overreach and control over our lives is something that we should fight against, but it doesn't show anyone meaningfully fighting against it, and in fact, just living their lives. In fact, there's a character in the movie who wants so badly to sleep with a girl that, he uses his rock star status as a superstar And he says, maybe the fascists were right on this one. Obviously, in a context that you know this guy is terrible and he just wants to sleep with a girl, so he's willing to say anything. But previously, he was saying, screw the mandate. It's like, what is this movie? What are we trying to say? This is performative activism as its finest. It wants to say something so hard about love and how we treat it today in society, and how, one night stands are so common and whatnot, and that we should really get to know each other and foster loving relationships with one another rather than just, hitting and quitting it. But at the same time, it's saying we should not control people's bodies. And it's like, it's such a bizarre movie that doesn't speak to anything, and in fact flip flops throughout and just leaves you feeling empty. This movie is entirely basic. At the end of the movie, they just get together, the main couple, and you're like, oh, okay. And like, I haven't even talked about the characters, but like the main male character, played by Callan Turner, he gets left by his girlfriend at the start because this whole sex ban is driving her crazy. She wants to sleep with someone else. She doesn't want to get married to Callan Turner's character. She wants to go with someone else. Maya Hawke wants to be with someone else. The exact opposite of what this ban is supposed to be in place. And at the end of the movie, they're like, we should wait, and we will wait exactly 1 year when the mandate says we can do it then. Because by the end of it, the government was right about certain things, and I'm not going to go against the laws that I believe are unfair and unjust. And that is the movie. I don't know what they were thinking with this movie. This is a really weird movie. I don't even know. It had some funny jokes here and there, I guess, but overall, like, what are we trying to say with this movie? Was the government enacting dumb laws, but hey, we're all just gonna go in line with it anyway, because what can we do, right? We'll just say it's bad. We'll just post on social media saying we don't like what you're doing, and then just live our lives. Like, there's so much more to this idea. There's so much more to this movie that it just doesn't do anything. Like, why did I watch this movie? Is it? And to be honest, I'm very surprised that they also showed LGBTQ relationships, because if you have this conservative overreach with government that banned all premarital sex until one night only, surely they would have banned any LGBTQ romances. So I don't know what this movie is exactly trying to say, and it's bizarre. It's entertaining, has some funny moments. If you're into that and this sole social commentary just leaves you feeling empty, that's totally fine. It's one of the movies of all time. That's all I gotta say. What is this movie? But enough about what I think about One Night Only. I would like to hear what you all think. Help me understand what exactly this movie was trying to say, and maybe enlighten me with your own viewpoint about it, because I don't have all the answers, and this is just my opinion about it. I'd love to hear yours. Let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, consider dropping a like and subscribing for more. As always, check the links in my description for my main video essay channel and my Patreon to support the channel and recommend media for me to review next. Thank you to all my current Patreon members whose memberships keep this channel afloat. I am so grateful you are all here with me. But that is all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.